Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, we all know Paramount's up for sale. They've been struggling a bit. I think it's due to their mismanagement of mainly Star Trek and CBS All Access and now Paramount Plus. And they're looking to sell. Warner Brothers was involved but then backed out. And then Skydance became involved, but there were some issues there. I thought because they didn't want to buy the whole of Paramount, they would just buying Sherry Radstone's company, and then they get a controlling portion of the shares, which is sort of like owning the company but not owning it outright. And I thought they didn't want that because that meant they wouldn't be sort of buying the whole studio as a whole, and Sherry Radstone didn't want the company broken up. But then again, if they're just controlling the majority like her, maybe I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to play out. It's a bit confusing. But this latest company, Apollo, apparently they're an equity firm or something. They basically buy in distress companies and fix them and sell them for a profit. And I think they've done this for at least one other studio in the past. Or they do seem to have some experience. They're involved with one of the companies that produced Dune, the new Dune films. But they don't want to buy the whole of Paramount. They're not interested in CBS or the networks and stuff like that. They just want to buy the studios. And I don't think Sherry likes that because that is sort of like breaking up the company. They've put in a bid for $11 billion, and it doesn't look like it's going to go well because Sherry doesn't want it. So, but the good thing about it is if they're just wanting to fix the company and sell it for a profit, they're going to make big changes like getting rid of Kurtzman and taking the shows that are being mishandled and giving them to people who can actually produce them properly, make a profit, and then they can sell this company now that it's functioning again. So that would be great. But it looks more likely that Sherry's going to just keep things as they are, just sell her share of stocks so someone else can take over control, and the company won't really change. And Skydance, if it is them, they've already been involved in the Star Trek films, which killed the Star Trek film franchise, because basically JJ convinced Paramount, convinced CBS to let them produce films for Paramount that they were going to basically do as big budget action films, and that was going to bring in $1 billion worth of profit, and basically make Star Trek a $1 billion movie franchise. It didn't happen. Star Trek already has a established audience, and you're not really going to grow that. There's only so much you can do to bring in new people, because people already know by a certain age if they like science fiction or not, and if they like Star Trek or not. They're not going to suddenly go to the cinema and watch Star Trek or Star Wars just because you spend a bunch of money on advertising. They really have a low opinion of people, these business people running these studios. They think, if you just spend a bunch of money and market something really heavily, people will just go and watch it like, lemmings, like sheep who don't think for themselves. People already have decided if they like Star Trek or science fiction. So you really can't do much to expand the audience. And Skydance was involved in that, so I can't see them making any changes or doing anything any differently. And at the moment, they can't make a Star Trek film, a new Star Trek film. They can't do Star Trek 4 or any other Star Trek film because they've already proven that they can't make a hit Star Trek film for the money that they're spending. They upped the budget, they tripled the budget, and didn't increase the fan base or the profits. And now Star Trek films are so expensive that they can't finance them because no one will give them the money to make the film because they know it's not going to make profit, because none of the JJ films made profits. The old Star Trek films, pretty much all of them made profits. I think even in the end, Nemesis and Star Trek 5 made profits because they weren't very expensive. But these films were hugely expensive, they didn't make a profit, and they didn't increase the audience. The more people watch Star Trek the Motion Picture, literally bums in seats, than the 2009 film. So yeah, I really would like Apollo to just swoop in, buy it, fix it, and then we get a nice new shiny company that works and a new Star Trek that works. But what we're probably going to get is just new shuffling around, the suits, and nothing really changes, which would just be pointless and a travesty, because something like this could save Star Trek if new people come in and make changes, because they look and they go, just wait, this is Star Trek, this is what people liked and bought and we made money out of, let's make that again. that's the only thing that's going to save Star Trek. Just continuing on producing what they're doing, because they're already doing it and they're already loyal and already just all entrenched in that. That's not going to help change or save anything. So this is bad news ultimately. I mean, it's good news that someone new is coming in and trying to buy Paramount, but it's bad news because it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's just going to stay with Skydance. So yeah. So some news, but not good news. And it's just, I thought this was going to be a quick thing. I thought the implementation would take a long time, but the sale would be quick. But it's looking like the negotiations of it could take like months. So yeah, we won't know for a while. I was hoping for a quick sale and some hope, but looks like we're just going to have to sit and wait and see if anything changes and if anything good comes of it. Star Trek at the moment is dead. Can it be, resurrected? Can it be saved? Yes. Will it? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.